Good morning. Today, Mr. Williams and Mrs. Magiolak are taking two kindergarten classes from the West Side School to the Archie Outdoor Learning Center.
Sledding first.
They are getting started.
Yep, with lots of sleds.
One class is going to start by snowshoeing, and the other class will start with
You may take your mask off.
another activity.
Do not lose your mask.
The classes are Mrs. Lancaster's kindergarten class and Miss Miller's kindergarten class. The group is beginning with Miss Miller's class snowshoeing, and they will have to start by getting their snowshoes on.
Welcome to the Harchie Center. If this is your first time ever at the Harchie Center, everyone, welcome. Do you guys remember me and Mr. Williams from your trip in the fall? Yeah. So Mr. Williams, they remember us from their trip in the fall when you went on the canoe, remember? Yeah. When we went on the hike. My name is Miss Maggio, and this is Mr. Williams. So we'll be your leaders today, and we are going to do something new. Because is it the fall anymore, you guys? No. Look around. What season are we in? Winter. There's lots of snow. So we are going to do something really special today, wearing these. Raise your hand if you've ever seen these before. Just a couple people. These are called snowshoes. Yeah, and you wear them on top of your snow boots. And do you see how they have these kind of claws on the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it so that you don't slip on the ice. It gives your snowshoes extra traction. It makes it so that you can walk in deeper snow. So it's going to be really fun to wear these. And then when you walk in them, you just walk normal. But it's giving your foot this big extra space. Look how giant your foot's going to become. Wow. Isn't that cool? So grown-ups, the kindergartners will definitely need our help learning how to putting these on right. So I'll show you guys how we put the snowshoes on. So boys and girls, when you put them on, you're going to get two of them. It doesn't matter left or right. And you're going to put them so that you can see the rainbow shape on the top of the snowshoe. You're going to slide your foot under these two straps. You'll have to lift them both up and get your foot underneath so that your foot goes, I'll pretend this is my foot, so that your foot goes about halfway in that open space, okay? If you put your boot way up here, the snowshoe's not going to work right. But if you put your boot way down here, the snowshoe's not going to work right. So you have to get the tip of your boot right in the middle of that spot, okay? Give me a thumbs up if you got that. Right in the middle of that spot. Good. So once your boot is in the right spot, the grown-ups are going to help you tighten up your snowshoes. So for that, grown-ups, you pull these straps, as tight as you can get it without completely squishing their foot. And then when you double back, you have to push the strap down so that the silver pokey part is showing through the strap. Can you see that poking out? So that'll help the snowshoes stay in place. It doesn't matter then if this part is flapping up. Some of them have straps you can, or clips that you can put the straps in, but even if the straps are dangling, as long as that silver part's poking out, you guys will keep your snowshoes on. So there's two that go on the top of your boot, and then there's a strap that goes around the back of your heel. So there's three straps on each snowshoe, okay? This one, grown-ups, it's important that you get that one as tight as you can, okay? And get that silver part poking out. Okay, boys and girls, for you guys, you will either have green or red. Both colors are the same, so it doesn't matter. For the grown-ups, the shoes that will fit you best are these blue ones here. So there's plenty for everyone to try out the snowshoes.
Those are big blue ones.
They are for big blue ones. Boys and girls, how about us grown-ups help give you all a pair of snowshoes? And then we'll help you get them on. And once you have your snowshoes on, you may go and walk on these mountains and try them out, okay? Okay. All right, so we can all come and hand them out. That's for you. Remember, boys and girls, you're going to want to put your shoe, your foot, halfway through that. There, that looks great. Right there. Yeah, and that one goes around the back. I'm going to put my gloves on, make it easier. There. Your snowshoes like this. Yeah, I'll help you with buckling the straps. You stand up so that your snowshoes is straight in there. All right. So you're going to want to set both of them down and then lift these two with your glove and slide your boot under those two straps. You can lean on my shoulder if you want. You might have to bend down and lift the straps out.
On the green one, there's only blue, but on one of the green ones, there's black.
Yeah, you know, some of the straps are broken, and I think the blue ones are the newer ones.
Yeah.
Okay, there's your first.
All right, sit down. Who needs help? You want to bring yours?
Okay, get your other boot in the right spot. Okay, stand up. You gotta stand up. Okay. You have to get one that has a better strap. This one's broken. How you doing?
Is that okay? Is that okay? Okay. We're not switching any clothes yet, huh? But
I just have to copy this.
All right, buddy. You can go try to practice. A little more. Good job. That's the key down low, guys.
I don't know how to do it. You need help, buddy?
Children are now practicing their first time on snowshoes.
There, right there, bud.
Now the adults are getting their snowshoes on. And the children continue to practice with their new snowshoes. They are learning very quickly, obviously. And a lot braver than I am. This is Miss Miller's class.
Come down right here, please. Where are you? You guys stay right where you are. I need to stand here so everyone can see you. Okay, raise your hand if you understand. Now, I love how you guys are standing with your feet still. Because snowshoes are kind of loud, aren't they? Let's all try hearing how loud they can be. Oh, that's loud. So when we stop to see something cool in nature, we've got to keep our feet nice and still, okay? Now today we are going on an adventure through the woods in the Harchie Center. So this is a new place besides just footprints. So we'll keep an eye out for those as we go. Anything to add, Mr. Williams?
I think we're good.
Okay, so we'll begin our hike. We're going to start on the other side of the parking lot. So we'll walk. Okay, boys and girls, we are about to enter the trail. So when we're walking, stay in the middle in a line. Use your eyes on the sky in the snow to look for animal tracks. Okay? Are you ready to try to find that? Yeah. Let's do it. Walked on a lot? Yeah. Does it seem like there's enough space for people to have walked a lot on that trail?
Yeah.
No. Is that a people trail? It's an animal trail. So sometimes I like to call that an animal highway because the animals are traveling on that a lot. But the real name for it is a game trail. Can you say game trail?
Game trail.
Yeah, game trail, and that means that it's a trail that the animals walk on. So, if you look carefully, you can see the tracks of an animal that has two parts to its foot. 1, 2, like that. So you guys stay where you are, and I'll try to find other ones that are kind of clear. Here's another one. 1, 2, 1, 2. This animal has a hook. If I go further back, this one's a really good one. Can you see 1 part, 2 part, a hook? Footprint right here. I'll make a circle around it.
Yeah. It's a deer trap.
Ooh, raise your hand if you think that this trap was made by the hoof of a deer. It was, you're right. So the deer must be one of the animals that uses this game trail to travel through the Harchie Center. Good job, you guys. So we can check that off our list. We found some deer traps.
You said watch your feet. Remember, your feet are bigger now with your snowshoes on. You don't want to hurt each other.
Let's count the feet. Ready? Let's count the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 feet. The feet are kind of small. And the animal had, just kind of like you're doing, it had 2 feet down and another 2 feet down. And it jumped. Now, let's think about frogs. 1 second. Let's start with frogs. Can frogs be out in the winter? No,
bunny.
they stay asleep the whole winter.
Bunny.
So one idea is a bunny. I like that idea. But you know what I know about bunnies? Their back feet are even longer than this. So we have to think of another animal that likes to kind of hop along and that would hop, 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 and then scurry up that tree right there. Let's think about it in your own mind. Which animal?
Squirrel.
Oh, scurry up the tree.
Squirrel.
You guys have the idea. Squirrel, you're right. So he hops along and makes tracks that show all four of his feet. Isn't that cool? Two longer feet in the front, and then his smaller hands are back in the tree. That is pretty neat. I'd say we try it, but it's a little hard. Yeah, it's hard to see the shape of those. Right. Raise your hand if you've ever heard the story of the three little pigs. Have you ever heard that story? That might be a fun story to read someday in class. Because in the story of the should we go check out that steakhouse closer? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to take turns again, so just a couple kids at a time, and then when your kids go, we'll let the next kids go. Okay? Let's check it out.
Remember Mrs. Matthews said that when we use our eyes and our ears and our noses? Just a couple minutes ago, we were smelling a special smell right around in here. And I don't know if any of you can smell it. Do you smell anything different? It's going from me too.
It's the wood.
Smell we were smelling, and the wind must have changed just a little bit, so we're not smelling it now. It was like a skunk smell. But if we smell it again, then we'll stop and see if you guys can smell it.
I can smell it.
Who said that?
Ariel?
You smell a little skunk smell?
Me too.
Do you? Really?
You think it's coming from that way?
So, okay, so sometimes, you know, this is about bigger kids. You know, like in high school, the boys want to meet the girls, and so they'll take out their phones and they'll text, and they'll say, you know, can you meet me tonight at the bowling alley and we'll go bowling? Or meet me at Culver's. But animals don't have cell phones. So if a boy fox wants to meet a girl fox, he can't pull out a cell phone. You know why they don't have cell phones? Because they don't have pockets. I'm being silly, huh? So you know what they do though? The boy will pee and it smells a special smell that the girl fox smells it and says, oh, I think that he wants to be my boyfriend. And that's the smell we were just smelling now, but the wind changed and so it's gone. Except some of you can smell it because you can smell better than me. Okay.
Okay, boys and girls, let's see what else we can touch.
There you go, right there, honey. You can look right through their heads and see.
Okay, boys and girls, sometimes animals leave behind clues that they think are besides trash. They leave behind a different kind of clue. So right here in this empty circle in the snow, I see a different kind of clue that an animal has been around. Does everyone see?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we are nature detectives, we have a special word for that animal poop because it is poop. Does anyone know the special science word for animal poop? It's called scat. Can you say scat?
Scat.
Scat, right. Because when the deer live in the forest, do they have a bathroom that they can go to? No. So they just leave behind what we call scat. And so we know which different animals have come by based on the shape of the scat. Did you know different animals have different shaped scats? Yeah, they do. So when we see a scat that looks like this, that kind of looks like little stripes, then we know it's not a deer. Because deer have little kind of round scat, and bunnies have round scat.
We've got some coming up.
Yeah, we can look at bunny scat in a little
I
bit.
see scat at my dad's house at a trail.
Yeah, see? The animals leave behind their scat, so you know what kind of animals are around. So we have to think about what kind of animal makes this kind of scat that has little kind of stripes like this. Does anybody have a pet at home? A cat or a dog? Okay. Does the scat of your pet kind of look like this?
No.
Yeah, so I have a kitty at home, and my kitty makes scat that looks a little bit like this. Right? It's a little bit around the same size. So what are some animals that are around the same size as a cat that might have come in the wild? What do you think?
Wild cat. A deer.
Oh, no, a deer
Wild
is too
cat.
big, and a deer makes scat that looks kind of almost like jelly beans. Wild rounded stuff. Maybe a wild cat. What do you think?
Raccoon.
Ooh, is a raccoon around the same size as a cat? Yeah, you guys know what a raccoon looks like, right? He has a long tail with stripes on it, and he has a black fur on his face that looks like a mask. So, Mr. Williams, does this look around the shapes of raccoon's cat to you?
It could be,
Yeah,
and
what's
also
another thing it might be?
I'm looking closer at it, and it looks like there's hair in it. And so it's an animal that eats other animals.
Ooh, a
It's
hunting
not the
animal.
animal that eats only plants. And it's got a pointy, twisty end, too, that makes me think it's a wild animal and not a cat or a dog.
So there's another animal that's a little bit bigger than a house cat. We talked about it earlier that has fur that matches your coat. What you just remember what animal?
Raise your hand. What do you think it is?
What did you just tell me?
A fox.
Did you say a fox?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This looks like it could be the scat of a fox too. So sometimes what we do is we look around the scat to look for footprints. But it seems like there's a lot that's covered up And the snow is a little bit older, so it's a little bit hard to tell. Sometimes you really get nice footprints or tracks next to the scat, but sometimes you don't. Yeah, look at this. That is a footprint. That looks more like fox than raccoon to me. See, we're being detectives. We're trying to solve a mystery. You guys are doing great. Should we try to find that bunny scat that's close by? Will you show us, Mr. Williams? Eyes, boys and girls. Bunny. Raise your hand if you have seen the bunny scat, the little brown circles. If not, look, you can look right here. See some? Mr. Williams has some by him.
I got
Right on. That's the scat the bunny has. This might be a cool place for a little bunny to hang out, don't you think?
I tried to
Covered by those branches. There's a lot of bunny scat in here. These are the cocoa pebbles.
I gotta tell you something.
Yeah, these are the wild kind of rabbits, not the pet rabbits. You're right. The wild kind of bunnies. Yep.
I gotta tell you something about bunnies and bunny scat.
Oh, it's a little bit gross, though.
Oh, it's really gross. You know, grass, and that's what rabbits eat, a lot of grass and green things. And they're hard to digest for animals. And they're so hard to digest that cows have 4 stomachs. And that helps them digest the grass. And deer have 4 sections to their stomach. They help them digest it. Bunnies don't have that. So you know what bunnies do? They poop once, and it's kind of soft and warm, and then they eat it again. And then they can digest the grass. They eat it twice. Isn't that cool?
Today I'm glad that I'm not a bunny. We're climbing the mountain.
Miss Miller's class is going down the hill and around the corner now.
We're gonna go 2 bodies of water. One is open water and the other is frozen. So we're gonna, you know, I get the feeling you guys still have lots of energy.
I know.
We're gonna try something. See down this pathway? It looks like some cement down there.
Yeah.
That's a bridge. If you'd like to run, you could run and wait by the bridge and look at the water.
Let's go, baby!
kids are looking over the bridge at the open water after a little run, even in their snowshoes. And I have trouble walking fast in my snowshoes without falling down.
Right? Absolutely right. How deep it is? You can see the bottom on the sides, but I don't know. It might be pretty deep in the middle.
Maybe it's because
All right, guys, come on over here.
Tightening up snowshoes. Mr. Williams and Mrs. Maggio.
Are we going to walk on this water? No. And why is this water open? Anybody know? Yeah, some places there's no ice because it's moving. Moving water, it's much harder for moving water to freeze. So I never walk on river ice because it might freeze just a little bit and then the water it's moving and it hits a rock and it comes up and maybe there's just a little bit of ice and a little bit of snow and it looks like it's solid, but it's not. Out there is a pond. The water's not moving. But there's some pretty important rules about people walking on ice.
be careful.
Be careful is one of them.
And do not run.
Well, running might be okay, especially with these kinds of things on. These aren't made for sliding, so we're not going to be great on sliding. I'm thinking a rule might be don't go on ice unless you ask your mom or dad, or maybe a person that you trust, an adult that you trust, that would not take you out on ice that would be unsafe. Does that sound like a good rule?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to be the one walking out on the ice, and I've been out on this ice before, and it's been safe, but I want to go out on it first again, just to make sure. Okay, and if I fall through, you get my phone and call my wife. I'm not going to fall through.
The ice is nice and thick and safe.
Mom.
Girls, where there's grass, it's not nice, so you can go up to the edge of the pond and see what Mr. Williams did.
Checking how deep the ice is. Oh, there's lots of great prints out here. Okay.
It's slippery, Nolan.
Oh, that's other print. And it was soft. Look at how deep you can see the bubbles from.
I don't know what that is. I think it's a duck house. Maybe. Children are having an amazing time playing on the ice today. Lots of energy. Whoa! And looks like she's okay.
Once upon a time, when this fairy tale started, there was a group of kids out here with me, and they were terrible. They didn't listen. They didn't stop. They were breaking things. They were just awful. Finally, I got to hear it, and I was, this group. And just then, through the trees, this great big figure came with a big black cape, flowing black cape, arms stretched way out, and it landed right next to me. It spoke, Mr. Williams, I am the witch of Hearts, and I've never seen you so mean. What is going on? I said, the group I've got, which was not like this group. I'm not talking about this group. You guys have been great. The group I've got is just terrible. They're breaking things. They're not following directions. They're not good listeners. The witch said, stop. I'll take care of this. She put her arms out again, and the flowing cape turned hard. She moved her arm. You could hear the wind. And she moved it faster, and pretty soon the snow started coming off the ground. And it was like a snow tornado. And she moved her arm faster and faster. Pretty soon their hats were coming off. And their eyes were getting bigger. And she went faster and faster. And it lifted the kids off the ground. And they were swirling around in a circle. And she did one more like this and one. And turned them all into this tree. And each one of these is a face looking out at us. And they've been that way for so long. I went home that night and the phone rang as soon as I got in the door. Mr. Williams, please release my son. I know he'll be a better listener from now on. I said, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to release the spell. I don't know what to do. And I hung up and then it rang again. Mr. Williams, my daughter, we love her. We want her back. I know she'll be a better listener. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do with this spell.
This afternoon we have Mrs. Lancaster's class. We'll be heading out on the snowshoe hike.
Me too.
All right, boys and girls. So this morning you got to have a sledding adventure, right?
Yeah.
And sledding, is that something you can do in the summer?
Yeah.
No, it's just for winter, right? We have this beautiful snow. So in the afternoon, we are going to try something else that you can only do when there's snow. You are going to get to wear snowshoes. Raise your hand if you've ever worn snowshoes before. Just a couple of people. This is going to...
So all the adults are helping the students get their snowshoes on.
Slide it forward a little bit.
And as they get them on,
I'm not the way down.
they are out trying them out. And again, they are a lot braver than I am. They learn very quickly. Now comes Mrs. Lancaster's class beginning their snowshoe hike. Hi there.
I don't know which way friends are going to go. You can stay. We're safe. We're safe to walk. That's why we thought.
Mrs. Lancaster's class are now coming to see the stick house.
Yeah, this is called a skull. A skull is the bone inside an animal's head. So if you have a skull in your head too, can you feel how your head is hard? Yeah. You have a skull. This is the thing. We all have a sensitive head, okay? I want to show you how in here.
Well, let's see. Get that out of there, Mixia.
And this is where the animal's eyes were.
You can do it.
Do you want to have a chance to hold it? Yeah.
It's like this calendar.
Everyone can have I do want to do the bunny. A clue from the animals besides footprints. They definitely leave their footprints all around in the snow, but sometimes animals leave behind something else. So think about it in your mind for a moment. What would happen if you lived outside all the time and you slept outside and you ate outside? Would you also have to go to the bathroom outside? Yeah. Yes. So do animals have a special animal toilet to go to? Yeah. No, they don't. They just have to leave behind when they poop. You know that there's a special word for animal poop? It's scat. Can you say scat? Scat. Yeah, and every animal's scat looks a little bit different from the other animals. And so when we find scat, quiet please, when we find scat, we know what kind of animal was there. So right in this area, just use your eyes, don't move your feet. With your eyes, look on the ground. On the ground.
growing around the tree. It's a grapevine.
It looks like it climbs up there.
Yeah, right there, huh?
It looks like it climbs up there.
Yeah, exactly. It's a kind of fun that climbs up.
I like that. Like an animal kind of
Or George of the Jungle. He would swing on that. Oh! Hey, we're gonna take a detour, and we're gonna go off the trail and see if we can find. I don't know if we're gonna find babies now. Oh, up in there? Let's see. I don't know if we can. Well, let's see. I don't think we're gonna get it down. We might break it. We're gonna go through the woods and see if we can find a deer bed.
Everybody's talking over me.
Okay, we saw a bunny scat, right? We saw a bunny scat? Bunny poop? This is not bunny scat. Deer, right? Deer scat. It's a little bit more like a raisin. It's not quite round, and it's darker. It's black right now, and it's all little pellets all over. That means, so we know it's a deer. We can't really tell what they've been eating because they eat green things. We can't tell. It doesn't have any bones or hair in it. They eat just plants. But it's all little drops all around, so that means it's pretty healthy. So that deer wasn't having any stomach aches or didn't feel sick. So that's deer scat. Now we're still looking for when I come to a deer bed and I look really close to see if I can find a deer hair. So let's see if we can find a deer hair. Because there was a deer sleeping here and we might have left that hair. Sometimes it might be
No, they're white. They're white.
his dog. And his dog came back loaded with these things. They were all over him. Oh, it didn't stick in there. But it sticks up here. And then the man tried to take them off, and he was taking them off. And he was a nature detective. And he looked very close at these things. And he saw that each one of these little spiky things has a little hook on the end. And he said, wow, I bet I could make something out of that. And he did. Let's see. You know what this stuff is called?
No. Yeah. Pokemon.
What's it called?
Velcro.
You know, Velcro. That's where Velcro came from. A man thought about this stuff and then invented Velcro because his dog was full of these things. Pretty cool, huh?
That's a cool story.
All right. We're going to go up and get another story pretty quick. You can have a seat. All right. First, something real. If you were to take a rubber band and wrap it around your finger, what would your mom or dad say? Take it off. Because in order to keep your finger nice and healthy, it's got to have blood going to it because blood brings oxygen that you breathe and blood brings food that all the little cells need to live. So if you wrap a string around it, it stops